Hey guys, what's going on? It's Travis or T-Carp from the for the Scott Carpenter YouTube channel and the Sasquatch Awareness Project. Guys, I really appreciate you. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. Guys, we're almost finished up with the Sasquatch Awareness Project. We're almost finished up. We've got a few more. We might crank it out and see if we can get it all done today. And then at that point, then we're gonna start a really awesome book, The Truth Denied. I think we're gonna get into the DNA study of what happened, how we can prove that Sasquatch and other cryptids do exist, and then after that, we'll get into the Nephilim among us. But first, we'll do the Truth Denied. It's a really deep dive into it, and again, we're gonna finish up the Sasquatch Awareness Project. We're gonna go ahead and finish that up today. So buckle in. We're going, the chapters and the discussion we're going to talk today about is coping with the Sasquatch encounter. We're going to talk about, talking about you're not the only one dealing with this, so you're not alone. And then we'll get into some closing thoughts. So, all right, guys. Coping with a Sasquatch encounter. If your encounter was 30 minutes or 30 years ago, it has made a lasting impact on your life. An impact that can cause serious problems in your relationships, shake the foundation of your belief system, disrupt normal activities impacting every aspect of your life. Many state and federal agencies are aware of the existence of the Sasquatch, but suppress the truth from the general public. Each entity has its own unique motive for suppressing any information concerning the existence of Sasquatch. So again, government knows about this, and just like Dave Pilates says, the government is not going to tell you about things that it can't control. So think about that. Anyway, in my opinion, the National Park Service has known of the Sasquatch's existence since the 1950s and suppressed this fact due to financial concerns. One can imagine the impact on the number of visitors if it has a common knowledge of a large, hair-covered, human hybrid race inhabiting the parks, and the park had no control over them. In my opinion, the alphabet agencies alphabet agencies include the CIA, FBI, DARPA, Department of Defense, are also aware of their existence. The motives for suppressing the existence of the Sasquatch varies from advanced genetic research for a super soldier program, or DARPA, to avoid panic and outrage, FBI, when Sasquatch abduct or kill or maim humans. Something to think about. Even with the recent popularity of shows and commercials about the Sasquatch, if you were not already interested in the subject, then most likely you have given the Sasquatch topic a little thought. The notion they could even exist was never taken seriously, as everyone knows, and it's taught that the creatures like this do not exist. Quote unquote, science would have discovered them years ago if they were real. Then the unthinkable, the unbelievable, and to your mind, the impossible happens. You have an encounter with a Sasquatch. The encounter may only last seconds. It could be a face-to-face on a trail, just even feet away. A roar from a thicket so unnervingly loud that it vibrates your entire body. A small boulder hurled out of the stand of timber that barely missed you, that no human could lift. One crosses the road in front of you, turns its shoulders, and makes direct eye contact with you. You hear loud bipedal footsteps in your camp and awake the next morning to find 19-inch like bare footprints all around your tent. You live in a rural area, and while your children, and while you in your kitchen, excuse me, let me read that again. You live in a rural area, and while in your kitchen, you get the feeling of being watched. You look at the window that is 8 feet off the ground, and you find it filled with the face of a monster. You hear what you think is a bear or dog in your garage. Go outside to run off the dog bear and discover a large, hair-covered, man-like beast tearing through your trash. It raises up, towers over you at 8 feet or more, looks at you making brief eye contact, shrugs, then calmly walks off into the woods with trash bags in its hands. Surprisingly, you're not alone. People have thousands of encounters every year in the United States, Canada, and countries from around the world. The question now is, what do you do with this experience? If you're reading this book, most likely you have had an encounter and are needing help understanding it and coping with it. I know many people have had their Sasquatch encounter shake them to their core, causing them to question their entire belief system, throwing them into an identity crisis concerning the nature of reality as we were taught or thought we knew. Some have entered into psychological counseling, have serious difficulty coming to terms with the encounter, while others have abandoned their love for the outdoors and moved from a rural setting into a large metropolitan area. I'm here to help in any way I can. I have been helping people who have had experiences with the Sasquatch for almost 10 years now. The following are some things I have found very helpful as I work with people. You must accept the following. The Sasquatch is a real, living, breathing creature. The Sasquatch is a human hybrid. You did not imagine it. If you were, you did not imagine it. You were not hallucinating. It was not a dream. You're not crazy. This was not your fault. You did not cause the encounter. Talking about the encounter with a person you trust and who supports you is an important first step in the process. The odds of you having another chance encounter are low, but a possibility. There is nothing to be afraid of concerning returning to your normal activities. The Sasquatch should be respected, and since they dwell in the wild area, you should always take the proper precautions. This is no different than entering an area known for mountain lions or bears. One needs to understand the Sasquatch can live and flourish in many varied environments. Though rare, a person venturing into the outdoors should be prepared for the possibility of an encounter. Professional counseling. I am acutely aware of the ridicule and skepticism from most of the witnesses received from family, friends, law enforcement, state wildlife officials, medical professionals, including mental health professionals. I am reluctant to recommend concealing if you are suffering from PTSD or post-traumatic stress syndrome or having other issues, including coping with your encounter because of the before-mentioned ridicule and skepticism one could face if you go to a counselor, family friend, whatnot. However, I am not a medical or psychological professional, and none of the advice and or recommendations in this chapter should be viewed as medical advice or take the place of professional counseling. If you are suffering any form of emotional distress, please seek out professional help. I think it is important that you talk to and interview medical professionals who you are considering seeing for help. Inform them of the nature of your issue and ensure they will treat the subject seriously with the utmost professionalism. Each of us is responsible for our own medical care, and choosing a competent provider is our responsibility. Do not be afraid to interview your healthcare provider and select the one that you think is competent and compassionate. Here's an example of some eyewitness sketches from Sylvia Irwin. So Sylvia drew these. I'm going to take a picture and show them better. So Sylvia drew those. Those are super cool. So witness sketches. Many times it is therapeutic to be able to have an accurate drawing of what you encountered. It gives the witness a tangible object that they can reference for themselves to show others if they choose. Also, the process of working with the artist to create a sketch, remembering details, watching the drawings take shape, and moving into final completion can help a person reconcile what happened to them. During the encounter with a Sasquatch, a talented artist, Sylvia Irwin, has donated her talents and her time to work with witnesses to recreate these sketches that I just showed you. Reoccurring experiences, okay? Though rare, for some people, the Sasquatch encounter will continue throughout a person's life. This is usually in the form of vocalizations, noise making, rock throwing, hearing footsteps as someone is following you, or that sixth sense, that tingling, telling you that you are being watched or followed while in the outdoors. In the research community, there's a saying, "They know that you know." The Sasquatch have the ability to discern if you are aware of their existence, even if you are not looking for them. This awareness makes you a person of interest, and the Sasquatch may react to your presence while you're in the outdoors near them. Excuse me. There is no solution to this type of activity. One can use the spiritual solution of rebuking, which will place a barrier of protection around a person that spans approximately 300 feet. This, unfortunately, does not prevent the Sasquatch from approaching and making themselves known by making vocalizations, rock throwing, talking, creepy feelings, etc. Praying before any outdoor activity for God's protection and for a peaceful Sasquatch-free outing has proven successful for me and others. While not always 100% effective, praying to be left alone does have a high success rate. Talking to the Sasquatch out loud in an assertive, calm, confident voice as you enter the area of your outdoor activity, informing the Sasquatch that you wish to be left alone, has also been effective for many people who do not desire to use the spiritual method. I know many who hunt and fish in the area where the Sasquatch are common use this method with a high degree of success. For those who deal with the issue as I do, I recommend you always make outdoor plans with at least one alternative location selected. I find when they are around, I have that gut feeling that there is things that just, are not right. Leaving the area and going to another location is the best choice. I make a conscious decision not to allow the Sasquatch to ruin or disturb my hunting, fishing, camping, or other outdoor plans. Having a plan B helps make this easier to accomplish. Harassment by unknown people or organizations. In a small number of cases, where people encounter the Sasquatch, the witnesses are visited by people claiming to be from official federal, state, or local government agencies. This could be those claiming to be from law enforcement officers, wildlife officers, FBI, CIA agents, etc. I am not a licensed to practice law, so that's not licensed to practice law or give any legal advice. The following should not be construed to be any legal advice. One should always seek out the service of a competent attorney if confronted by legitimate representatives of any federal, state, or local government agency. With that said, if I was confronted by a person claiming to be from one of these agencies after having a Sasquatch encounter, I would do the following. Ask the agent's name. Ask the agency, ask for the agency the person is associated with. So ask, hey, which agency are you associated with? Ask for and take pictures of the credentials. Listen to what my gut is telling me about these people. If the person acts suspicious, threatens you, or makes you feel uncomfortable, call 911 and request a local law enforcement officer to be dispatched. Take pictures of the agent or agents. Refuse to answer questions without attorney present. If you have physical evidence, I would not give it to anyone. Take pictures of the vehicles the people are driving to include license plates. Some witnesses report seeing suspicious vehicles, mostly large SUVs with blacked out windows, that follow them or park across from their homes and watch them. In these cases, I would get pictures of the vehicles and license plate numbers, call 911, and report them as a suspicious vehicle near the home, possibly surveilling the home for burglary. If the vehicle is from an official agency and monitoring me, they will leave the area after I place the 911 calls, showing that they are either able to monitor the police channels or eavesdropping on your conversations entirely. Both would confirm their identity and hopefully discourage them from continuing. If the vehicle belongs to a Bigfoot research group, then the local law enforcement can confront them and invite them to leave. What are the proper precautions? Never go into the field alone. This includes hiking, fishing, hunting, camping. The odds of an encounter with a Sasquatch drop dramatically if there are more than one person involved in an outdoor activity. If you must or prefer to go alone, get a personal GPS locator device to carry on your persons at all times. You know, a cell phone works great now. You know, you've got the thing, you can share locations, just tell people where you're going to be. Check the Sasquatch sighting database for recent activity in the area that you plan to, if you plan to go alone. Below are links to the most common sighting databases. Note, this is not an endorsement of these organizations or their research practices. These links are provided to assist the reader in determining the frequency and number of encounters in the area. So again, you can go to these are, I'll put the links in the description below. You've got the BFRO, that's www.bfro.net. You can also go to GCBRO, again, that's gcbro.com. You can go to Bigfoot Mapping Project, again, www.bigfootmap.com. You can also go to Joshua Stevens' website. It's www.joshuastevens, that's STEVNS.net. And you can just, you can look at all that stuff. Again, Dad's not endorsing these are just some options. Always have a plan B location in case of the activity that makes you uncomfortable staying in the area. Again, have a plan B. If you are so inclined and the area that you frequent allows guns, take a firearm with you. The Sasquatch tends to avoid those who have firearms. And again, here are some more witness sketches. It's interesting how the Sasquatch avoid firearms. I think that with these things being half human, half angel hybrids, you know, who knows the half and half. Guns hurt them. Like, guns do hurt them, and they do not want you having guns, and they do not like guns. So I would carry a firearm with me 24/7 if at all possible. All right, now let's talk about this. Guys, thank you so much again for watching the Sasquatch Research Project. If you did like this, please like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. I am going to ask for that. Steve hasn't, but I'm going to. But anyway, I'm so grateful for those in the Bigfoot community. Grateful to Steve Ishdahl and Dave Pilates, and I'm actually so grateful for Les Stroud. He had I'll post a link too. He had a great live commentary on the Sasquatch, basically doing research out in Dad's area, and I got to talk to him a little bit on live, and we just talked about, you know, Dad's research area and how creepy it was, and you know, how I've got actually Dad buried out there now, because that's where he spent all his time and things like that. But guys, I just again want to say thank you again. This is T Carp signing out, and God